Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're well, I hope you're safe, I hope you're good. So I've been gone for some time. I know, I'm sorry. But I needed this break. I just needed to chill, you know, shit happens, dude. So I had to catch up on my personal life as well, and I didn't have time for YouTube. But it doesn't matter because I'm back now. And for this week, I thought that we could do some spring stuff. As you can see, I love spring and flowers. So that's what we'll be focusing on today. And I thought that I didn't want to do a makeup look per se because I figured that everyone would be doing them. Plus, I do a lot of colorful looks that could be spring inspired on my personal Instagram. So like it would have just been another one of those. So instead of doing that, I decided to look at different highlighting techniques, as spring is very much glowing, really nice highlighter, really beautiful skin, really dewy skin. So I wanted to do a tutorial, an explanation about highlighters, as well as how to pick the right highlighter, how to see if an eyeshadow could work as a highlighter, as well as a bad highlighter. Yeah. So before we start, I want to remind you all to wash your hands all the time before makeup because it's gross if you're going to touch your hands with dirty ass fingers, as well as to take care of yourself and eat. If it's your first time here, hi, my name is Dewy. I'm a professional makeup artist. This is my channel where I speak about makeup and that's about it. And I give you tips and tricks for makeup, professional advice, all from me, from my own personal experience working in the industry, working on different skin types and skin textures, as well as what I have taught myself. I am a self-taught makeup artist, but like, I read, so you can trust me. So yeah. So what is highlighter and what does it do? Highlighter is a cosmetic product applied on the highest points of your cheek, used to reflect light. It is a shimmer product that can come in the form of a liquid, a cream, or a powder that you could apply on that part of your face to give off the effects of dewy skin texture. I really like highlighter. It's cool. It's a terrible way to describe it, but I like highlighter. It gives me what I need. I really like the idea of really healthy skin, which is why I'm very serious with my skincare routine. And highlighter really can hide all of my imperfections, and as long as I have that, people believe me that my skin is healthy. So do I stand highlighter? Absolutely. I like to apply highlighter on my face and parts of my face that naturally hit the light. I like to apply highlighter here, here, and here, so that when I move, it naturally captures that same light. Now that we understand what highlighter is, let's talk through some bad highlighters and a good one. So in the last video, I was talking about the Cheek Cosmetics highlighter and how I didn't like it. And the main reason is because it has too much texture. This is just one swab on the thing. And then what happens, because it has way too much texture, is that when I swatch it, it becomes uneven. So all the product that I swatched right now is only on this part. Then as I get deeper, it doesn't swatch properly. And because it is very textured, it doesn't allow for even application, and then it makes things look patchy and powdery, which is not the effect that I like. I like a very consistent highlighter thing. So like you can see here, you can tell that I like drag the product here. You can tell I drag the product here, and the product is having a really hard time sinking into my skin. So that's why I don't like highlighters that are really textured. In the other video, I also used the example of Stila. Stila is one of my favorite products. I'm just gonna swatch it once again. Look at how little texture is on my finger already. If I compare it again to the Cheek Cosmetics, let me just swatch that again. I swatched it once again. There's a huge difference in the texture of the products. And then when I swatch Stila, which I'm gonna swatch over here, you can barely see it. But when I swatch the Cheek Cosmetics, you see all of it just on this part. A way to pick a good highlighter is to look at the texture. If you swatch the product and you pick up way too much texture, that is a bad highlighter, mainly because it's going to be too hard to apply, it's going to be too powdery, and it won't give off the right effect that it needs to give in order for it to be a good highlighter. Another thing about highlighters that are way too textured is that they're really hard to blend in. So just avoid them. So your cheeks move around a lot. So they need a product that will sink into that part of your face. Because if it has too much texture, it will look cakey, number one, as well as it won't look right as you're moving your face. It might crack up. It just will look terrible. I'm sorry. I hate to say it like that, but that's what it will look like. That's how it will be. And that's why you need to avoid picking up highlighters that are way too textured. Now, I know that a lot of people can't afford highlighters. I definitely couldn't. And I probably still can't now. So I also developed different ways to use makeup in order to get the best value out of my product. And one way that I did that was using eyeshadows as a highlighter. Now, the same rules apply when picking out an eyeshadow that you think might be a good highlighter. And again, you must look at texture. For texture, you want the same smooth, very melted texture of Stila. So this is an eyeshadow from Catrice. It looks busted, I know, but it's one of my favorite ones, and I use it for highlighting. And look at how minimal that texture is. Look how well that came out. And I'm going to swatch it again on my hand. I'm going to swatch it over here. Oh, you can't even see it. Wow, what's wrong, Park? So I'm just going to pick it up. I'm going to pick up a little bit more. Just going to oh, you can see it. I'm just going to swatch it over here now. You see how well this blends into my skin. I don't have any problems, no streakiness like this one. This one has a lot of problems. This one is fine. Outside of texture, another thing that you have to look out for in highlighters is color. So the only way that you can pick out a good highlighter for yourself is if you understand your undertones. Are you warm? Are you cold? Are you neutral? It's just as simple as that. And I know for people with darker skin, it's very hard to tell what undertones you are, because a lot of makeup information is done to like white people. So they'll be like, check if you have blue veins, if you have green veins. Like, no. I also have a post on Hello Me and You explaining how to pick out the right foundation using your undertone. So that might be helpful as well. But for now, let's just focus on me and my undertone, because that's all I can speak to. And for me, I have a very warm undertone, and because of that, I pick highlighters that are a little bit more gold, a little bit more yellow, because those suit my skin tone a lot more. If you're someone with a cooler undertone, I'd recommend you use a highlighter with more blues and purpley undertones in it. And if you're someone with a warmer undertone, I'd recommend you use something that's a little bit more yellow, a little bit more orange, a little bit more warm. That's a terrible example. That's how you pick the right highlighter for yourself, is by understanding your undertone as well as looking at the texture of the highlighter. Highlighters need even application in order for them to look good and not powdery or too textured, because it doesn't look like a natural glow. So now I'm going to talk you guys through my highlighting technique. I like to use the Stila highlighter. I always talk about it. It's just my fave. She's my girl. She hasn't let me down yet. She showed me what highlighters can be, and I was like, I'm listening, Stila. I am definitely listening to you. So anyways, for highlighter, I like to use a brush like this. I like to use fluffy brushes, mainly because they give me a more muted application. They don't give me streaks and lines. Fan brushes are out of fashion, and we're all up to date with that. Yes, we are. Fan brushes should not be used to apply highlighter. I don't know who lied to us, but that person lied. Yo, hi. Anyways, for a highlighter, I like to do this. Just a little bit, get you swallow it around everywhere, and then apply it only on the parts of my face that already catch light. So like here, you can tell, boom, the light's hitting. Here, you can tell that the light's hitting, so that as I move my face, I naturally get that highlighting effect. So I'm just gonna apply it here. I catch light there and here. Wow. I'm also applying it very gently. The way that I hold the brush is also at the end. I don't hold the brush over here because it's just, why? Why? It's also too strong. If you hold your brushes down here, you'll get a much more pigmented application, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a seamless blend, and for that reason, I'll hold my brush further down. And when I swatch it or pick it up, I'll do the same, use the same technique. Then I'll just gently pat it onto my skin. I'll also pat it on this part of my skin because I like her there. Sometimes if I'm feeling a little bit extra, I'll apply it here on this part of my forehead. I have very big cheeks, which is why I can also use a big brush like this. If you're someone who doesn't have big cheeks like me, I'd recommend you can also use like a brush like this. I like to use them sometimes, especially if I'm not going like too hectic, and to just like pat the product in onto parts where I need it. For my nose, I would do the same, and I'll just apply the highlighter here on this part of my nose because that's the only place where I get light, and also here. Sometimes if I'm feeling extra, I'll extend it like this because I also get light there. So you can see already. Wow, let me come closer. Wow. Wow. And there's no highlighter here. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to talk you through highlighters and how you could get the best value out of your one. I hope you learned a thing or two. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understand the difference between a good highlighter and a bad one. Also understand that texture plays a big role in how your highlighting application ends up. And as well as your undertone also plays a big role into whether or not the highlighter is good for you. So be aware of those two things when you go out and pick a highlighter. As always, be safe, be well. I'll see you guys whenever, but hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Take care of yourself, love yourself, take care of your family. If you did like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and share it with other people who you think would be interested. But as always, goodbye, take care of yourself, protect yourself, and love yourself, and I'll see you guys all next week. Bye bye.